His home to foreclosure, and it took a SWAT team to get him out. Jefferson County law enforcement officers were involved in the standoff with a man at a home on South Zinnia Street in Littleton this morning. For a month, he had been refusing to leave the house. Neighbors say SWAT team members came several times. 9 News reporter Rothe Thomas tells us today was their final visit.
Today was the day it was really time to come here and allow the new homeowner to take possession of that home.
But that couldn't happen until the man inside came out.
We've been working with this individual for over a month, just trying to negotiate a kind of a peaceful resolution.
But when negotiating with the former homeowner's attorney didn't work,
today we again had a court-ordered eviction.
One that was executed by a robot and a SWAT team.
It's not what I expected out here in quiet Littleton.
But neighbors say a lot of 50-year-old former homeowner David Lee Roth's behavior caught them off guard, like the semi-truck parked in his front yard.
It's been on and off for about 3 months.
Roth had owned the home for 7 years before it was foreclosed upon earlier this year.
He tried to fight that and filed bankruptcy and has got some lawsuits against the mortgage companies trying to stop the foreclosure.
Roth's former girlfriend, who used to live in the house, says he lost his job 4 years ago.
Hello again, okay, here in this video. What'd you see there? Yeah, you saw a guy barricaded himself in his house. It was a foreclosure. That's right. Didn't want to lose his home. Imagine he probably had to come up with a pretty good down payment. Okay? On top of the fact of all the payments he made before he lost his job. That's right. And of course, that's because we allow our government to ship our jobs overseas and never bring any jobs back to our country. That's right. We sit back and idly allow our government to ship our jobs overseas. We idly allow our banks to come in and screw you in your behind, and you sit back and you do nothing about it because those the people in the United States of America are cowards. That's right. There is part of the story I did leave out of that video news report you've seen because, well, when they bring an ex-girlfriend into it who's looking for a way of slandering him, so then they wait towards the end of the report and they bring up something that happened in his past to drift your attention away from the real issue. That was the media's fluff and stuff to drift your attention off of the main issue. The main issue is the foreclosure. But they want to drift your attention off of the foreclosure situation and make it sound like he's a villain, he's a bad guy. But what did we expect from an ex-girlfriend? Anything less? No. That's the reason that part wasn't put in the video. But anyhow, the link to this video and the story is going to be underneath more of this video. And I got something else to show you. Watch out.
I want to emphasize that Chase strongly prefers to work with borrowers to reach a solution that permits them to keep their homes. Foreclosures cause significant hardship to borrowers and communities.
Chase borrowers here, you cannot have them perjury. What you're saying, you need to hear from the homeowner. You have Dave lying. He is lying. He did it last April from the House Financial Services Committee. No, we got homeowners here. Let them hear. Chairman, let the homeowners speak to do that.
Okay.
Let them speak. Homeowners, tell your story. Tell your story.
Stand in recess for a few minutes.
Yeah, that was the Chase Loan. That's right, the Chase Loan CEO for loan lending for homes. And what did we expect? You heard the guy call him a liar? I'm sure that's because the CEO was lying. That's why the guy in the background was yelling a year ago, you did blah, 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 that he was saying he wasn't doing now, and called him a liar. And what else did you hear him saying as they were throwing him out of there? Let the homeowners tell their stories. That's what I heard him saying as they were escorting him out because the homeowners ain't allowed to tell their stories because the banksters don't give a flying fuck. They got your down payments. They got your payments that you can't get back. They got that money in their pocket. And now they're going to take your property away from you that you've been buying because they took your jobs away from you. That's right. See, your banksters run your government. They took your jobs away from you. That's right. They shipped your jobs overseas so that they could line their own pockets and enslave you. Okay? And they do a really good job of enslaving people, turning people into slaves while they live on top, having caviar and steaks and so on, while you people sit back and let these criminals run you. And now these criminals come along, see, and what they do is they'll collect your down payment for your home. That's right. They'll collect all your payments. They'll scam you and set you up with something that causes your payments to go up so that you can't afford them. Because they don't want you to afford them. They don't want you to continue making the payments. They want you to give them a healthy down payment. They want you to pay them for a while. And then they want to come in and take your home back away from you so they can resell it. That's right. And get another healthy down payment, some more payments. Then they can come in and take it from that person and resell it. And get another down payment, some more money paid to them, and then take it again and resell it and just keep repeating the process. So nobody can ever own the home but the banksters, the criminals. That's right. And meanwhile, you people keep spitting money out for nothing. At the same time, what do? We sit back and allow it. When the guy said, let the homeowners tell their stories, and he's being escorted out of there because he wants the homeowners to be able to tell their stories. But they don't give a shit about the homeowner stories. They don't give a shit how much money you put in it. This is about crashing your country. This is about the banksters taking everything. It's about the global elite taking it all for themselves, what they don't own. Oh, that's right, they'll own it because they can steal it and get by with it. That's right. They can literally steal it and get by with it. Anybody else here steals something, you go to prison, don't you? That's right. You get caught thieving something, you go to prison, and the higher dollar value it is, the more time you're going to serve, isn't that right? But for these criminals, they can steal anything they want, don't matter what the dollar value is, because they can steal it and own it, you people won't do a fucking thing about it, isn't that right? You won't stand up for yourselves. No. You're scared of the person who wears the badge, ain't ya? That's right. And what you see there at the beginning, that's right, a SWAT team coming in to take the guy out. That's right, because we don't give a flying fuck. Isn't that right? Law enforcement works with the criminals. That's right. Law enforcement works and supports criminals. That's right. Oh, they're going to say they don't? Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. They work and support criminals. I can remember a case where a lady was being evicted out of her own home that she owned. And police come in and help her push her out of her own house. I can remember St. Petersburg's police going to the homeless and cutting up the homeless people's tents. Now, do you think them cops would like it if we waited till their family was gone and we went and burned down their houses? Why not? An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, isn't it? That's right. If the cop can break the law and vandalize and cut up property that don't belong to him, then why can't the people he's doing that on to break the law and burn down his fucking house when he's not home, as long as they're not killing nobody? Well, so what if his house costed more than a tent? So what if he had furniture and beds and everything? So what? Who gives a fuck? We give a fuck just like you gave a fuck when you cut up the homeless people's tents. Excuse my language, but you follow my drift? This is deliberately done. Every last bit of this, and you're only going to see it get worse and worse and worse. And that's exactly what you're going to see as they get ready to crash your dollar, take millions more homes, and you're going to see all these hundreds of thousands and thousands and thousands of homes that are sitting empty right now under foreclosure, and nobody can afford to buy them. You think, well, the banks are losing money. No, they're not. Because, see, the global elite wants to own it all. They don't care if they leave it sit empty. As long as you can't have it. As long as you're the one that's homeless and out of work. Because then later on they'll use their concentration camps here to round up the homeless. And how did you become homeless? Well, because once upon a time you had a job and you worked your butt off to make sure you had good credit, and you paid your bills, and you got a loan from a loan company like what you're seeing here, or Chase or whatever, from Bank of America. You got your loan because you worked your butt off to get there, and you saved your ass off with the down payment, and you finally got your American dream home. And then you allowed the banksters to come along and outsource your fucking jobs and put you out of work and take your house from you. That's right. So that they can do it again and again and again and again and again And we, the people, we just sit back and allow it to happen, don't we? That's right, because we're all made of one thing, yellow cowardness. Because we won't stand up for ourselves. Oh, no, no, no. We got to fight the neighbor down the street, don't we? Because we got to stay divided, don't we? Think that guy barricaded himself in that house for nothing? That sounds crazy, don't it? At least he stood up to him, which is more than most of you people would do. You know, if we could get people globally to stand up for themselves against stuff like this, this couldn't happen. They could bring all the SWAT teams they wanted. Let them bring the SWAT team. Because, see, when people grow up, then the SWAT team will show up and realize what's going on, and they'll turn around and won't listen to their commanders, and they'll go back home. And they won't execute going in and evicting somebody out of their home because the criminals took their fucking job, because the criminals are ripping you off. Because then the cops won't be backing the criminals, they'll be arresting the criminals. But at this particular time, law enforcement backs criminals, corporations, not the people. Okay, and that's no lie. And they're getting ready to take your country out from underneath you, your dollar out from underneath you. They're getting ready to send you into the Third World War, but you people don't give a shit, right? You're going to turn your back and look the other way like you always do, ain't you? Ain't that right? Anyhow, I just wanted to show you this because there's a whole lot more of this coming your way. Think about it. Next video, yo, good one.